There are key places where we should look first, and look analytically. In other words, we don't just look, we think. We think about what work the structure is doing and what the words used in titles and headings imply, and so on. These key places are especially useful when you think about what they tell you taken together. By examining and analysing them and their relationships, you can gain a lot of information about the text very quickly. Key place 1 is the title. The title of a piece of work tells you an enormous amount about what it covers, and sometimes the title alone will signal to you whether this is something you need to read right now or just pass by. If, for example, you want to research contract law and you find this book, you instantly know it's not for you. No need to go further, but if you're interested in human rights and the environment, you'll want to dig deeper. Key place 2 is the introduction. The introduction to a text should tell you what the author's work will cover. It's a quick and easy place to get a helicopter view of the text, but you need to stay analytical. The author may have given a misleading or inaccurate introduction. Don't get lazy, but do use the clues. Key place 3 is the conclusion. The conclusion ideally will give you an idea of where the author ends up. Some works, such as textbooks or research handbooks, won't necessarily have a conclusion, so don't sweat it if you can't find one. Not all texts do the same thing. Key place 4 is the contents page, or the main headings. If you're looking at a book, you'll find, in most cases, a contents page. That page gives you a simplified map of the entire text. If you can read a content page well, you'll be able to deduce an entire set of relationships between the information covered very quickly. If the work you're reading is an article, you need to skim through and look at the main headings and their relevant subheadings. That will give you a similar map or overview of the coverage of the information. Key place 5 is subheadings. The subheadings in a text put more detail onto the main bones of the skeleton, or the main branches of the map you can see of the book or text as a whole. Key place 6 is the index. This one is for books only really, but if you look at the index you'll see that some topics have many entries, whereas others only have a few or even one. If you're reading, say, a book on human rights and you notice that the word autonomy has many more entries under it than anything else in the text, that tells you a huge amount about the relative value of autonomy to the author's account of human rights compared, say, to equality, if equality has fewer entries, for example. In this example here, you can see that the Banjul Charter is an important theme in this particular research handbook on human rights and the environment. A quick final word on headings. They come in different fonts and sizes at different levels according to their place in the hierarchy of how the information or argument of the text is being presented. Let's call them A, B and C level headings, and sometimes even more levels such as D and E. Here's an example of A, B and C level headings just to give you the general idea. The text and presentation will differ from book to book or article. Remember, you're always looking for the hierarchy of relationships in that particular text. The different font sizes, etc., are just clues to that.